Of course, our focus today is on the Queensland election, and you won't miss a thing all day, but we are just over a week away from the US election, and the polls could not be any tighter, as we've just mentioned. Joining me live is Assistant Professor of Practice in the School of Government and Public Policy at the University of Arizona, Spencer Lindsay. Spencer, welcome to the program. Let's start with this. Kamala Harris has called the disparaging comments directed at Donald Trump by his former Chief of Staff, John Kelly, a 911 call to the American people.
I think that certainly that's a message that she's been running on and could potentially be very effective. I think that the Republican Party performed poorly relative to expectations in the midterms, and January 6th might have had a lot to do with that, right? And so it's possible that this issue mobilizes voters. Trump maintains a high level of support in the polls.
He does, but so does Kamala Harris. It seems that the rhetoric is a little bit different. The past week or so, there has been a lot of momentum or perceived momentum on the Donald Trump side of things, but then when you hear from others, they say, well, I don't know whether much has changed at all.
Yeah, I'm more of the stance that things probably have shifted towards Trump a little bit, but not significantly so, right? At her highest point in the 538 model, Harris had a 64% chance of winning. Today, Trump has a 53% chance, right? So we've always this whole race has been in this 50-50 range, right? And it appears that it's going to be that way until the election.
It could be an eternity this week and a bit that we've got left when you think of US politics. How will Beyonce coming on board, Bruce Springsteen and these others, of course, Kamala Harris will have them by her side over the next little while?
I think that those kinds of things are kind of effective at mobilizing people in the particular states where the candidates appear. I don't think they're particularly likely to have a broader effect than kind of in the local media markets and things like that, right? I think for the most part, these big name endorsements, people tend not to pay attention. But if you see, a local news report that there's some rally going on in your neighborhood, your city or whatever, maybe that'll move the needle a little bit.
What about Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, these other the former presidents and political leaders?
Yeah, no, I think the high-profile surrogates, again, I think they're important for generating enthusiasm. And I think they, very much can have an effect in kind of the places that they're appearing. But I think in the long term, it's likely, and when you look at the country as a whole, these effects are likely to be pretty small.
Spencer,
but
you're
Yep. Sorry, just to add, in a close election, even the smallest of effects can have kind of a decisive effect, right? The small things can make a big difference.
You live and breathe this every day. Apart from the swing states, which are obvious, where will this election be won or lost? Is it women, men? Is it immigration, economy? What do you think?
I think really what's going to be telling is how much of the youth vote turns out. And I think I'm keeping an eye on non-white voters, on Latinos and African Americans. If Harris kind of holds the historic Democratic margins among those groups, I think there's a good chance she wins. If Trump makes inroads, significant inroads, I think that could spell disaster for the Democratic Party, right?
Who's going to win?
Anyone's guess. Flip a coin, right? If right today I'm
thinking Trump.
Feel? Yes. No, I think the polls are as tight as they could possibly be. I think today, like I say, I feel like Trump has a slight edge. Yesterday, I felt like Harris had a slight edge, right? I keep going back and forth myself and what my gut says. But, the polls are really, really tight in this election.
That could flip, close. Yeah, and it could flip-flop again another 6 times, I think, before we get to that November date. Look, it's been great to have you on the program. I look forward to chatting soon.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.